Can I get your hot take on what you thought of the Tim Howard interview?
I am a big fan of Tim Howard, and I thought the most interesting part was that he talked about how everybody knows soccer these days from FIFA, and that's all true because your boy wouldn't know anything about soccer if it wasn't for FIFA, and that's how I learned about all the players, and that's how I got into it. But I was more concerned about with your fanboy tweet, freaking out saying, "Oh my God, the legend! We have Tim Howard on the show." You got to keep it together a little bit.
Oh, come on!
You're part of the show now. You got to act like you've been there, even though you haven't.
I would have acted like that if he hadn't made 16 saves against Belgium.
And did we win that game?
No.
Should have made 17 saves.
Would have helped.
Well, join us right now to talk some soccer. Guy who's going to be playing on Friday here at RFK. It's Tim Howard, U.S. men's national team goalkeeper. They take on Peru in a friendly at RFK.
And you can go to
on Friday.
ussoccer.com to get your tickets for the match.
Hey, Tim. Good morning.
How are you guys? Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good to be back.
Yeah, you're saying welcome back because he's been playing with Everton, and he's been off the U.S. men's national team for like a year, right?
That's right, yeah.
And the biggest reason for you stepping away was what? More time with family, that sort of thing? What was it?
Yeah, when you do this year-round, it's hard to find any time for those things, and so something had to give, and it was a good break. I got a lot of time with the kids and feel fresh and ready.
Now, we already know from the Landon Donovan experience that Jurgen doesn't look kindly upon these breaks. What was that like, that conversation then? What was that conversation like when you came back? We noticed that you're not playing in this next game. Is that bitterness? Is he holding it against you? How's all that gone down?
No, I think every situation is different. Jurgen and I have a great relationship, and we've had nothing but positive conversations. So you can't look at one situation the same, and it's different. I've played nearly 60 games this past year, so I'm fit and ready, and it's all part of the competition. It's no problem for me.
But I heard you say, I'm not a backup, even if you're
correct
technically in the backup spot. Talk about that mentality.
Well, you're exactly right. It's a mentality. To be a backup, you have to not have the hunger and the drive to be number one. A lot of goalkeepers don't have that. And like I said, I've never been a number two goalkeeper. That's a loser's mentality, and I don't have that. So I'm always fit and I'm ready to play. And whenever I'm called on, I'll put my work in throughout the week, the same as if I was playing. Nothing changes for me.
I was wondering, when you're a professional goalie, or you're the goalkeeper for the U.S. men's national team, how big a part of the game plan are you? Like, I was kind of thinking, in football, a kicker's kind of separate. With the goalie, a kicker's not part of the defensive game plan or the offensive game plan. They do their own thing. And I was kind of thinking a goalie might be similar like that, or are you intricately involved in a game plan?
It's a good question. Some goalkeepers won't be. It depends on their stature within the team. I think when you get to be a more experienced goalkeeper, you're almost, you're an extension of the coach on the field. You can help deliver his tactical message, and so you are a part of the setup. You are a part of the game plan. So at this stage, I am.
So you take on Peru here at RFK, and I noticed, the U.S. men's national team, at home, you guys are taking care of business. I don't think you've lost in the last 8 times at home in all these friendlies.
Yeah, that's something we pride ourselves on, particularly when we get into World Cup qualification, which is starting soon. The blueprint for success has been win your home games, and hopefully when you go away from home, try and get a point or two here or there, and that usually leads to qualification. So we try and make playing at home very, very tough on the opponent.
And can you explain, I know you're not a coach and you're just there to do your job, but as a casual fan, I have a hard time with a lot of this stuff because the roster changes so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the philosophy, generally speaking? Why do they keep rotating in and out so many different players?
Well, I think with the national team, it is a different dynamic than with your regular club team or the team you play with every day. There's a limited amount of time to see a lot of guys, and so each guy earns their spot by the way they're playing with their club team, and then on an individual game basis, a different team gets selected. But there's only a few games in which to see new talent, so you kind of have to mix it up.
I noticed that my guy, Kyle Beckerman's not here now, but Kyle was played in the last go-around, I think, right? Kyle's still very much in the mix, correct?
I would think so. Yeah, Kyle's a fantastic player for us. In particular, at the World Cup, he was our rocket in the midfield, and he held things down. So he's very well respected within the team. Hopefully, he'll be back in.
You know, you were one of the first American players to really, I don't know, get a foothold over in Europe. Now it seems like almost all of these guys are playing over there. Who are some of the guys who are playing against you now that are teammates for the U.S. men's national team?
Well, you know, we got a guy like Jeff Cameron, who is at Stoke City, who's playing very, very well at the moment. Obviously, Brad Guzan and I, we've been playing against each other for years because he's at Aston Villa, I'm at Everton, and we both play very often. And DeAndre Gedlin, who is at Tottenham, just got to move a transfer to Sunderland, so we'll be seeing him on the field, which is all good news for the U.S. national team.
Do you like the fact that more people now are aware of the European leagues because of the exposure here on TV?
Yeah, you know, I think that's a testament to the MLS as well. You know, our league here in America, it's growing, it's getting more recognition and more awareness, and that ultimately leads to people wanting to be excited about soccer, and then they watch it on TV and they go to games. And so, of course, you know, some of the European leagues are on TV Saturday mornings. People want to watch.
And then also, I think, truthfully, you can talk about this. I think FIFA, the game FIFA, is helping. How many of your guys play the game and argue about their ratings and how they play in the video game?
Yeah, look, I think you hit the nail on the head. FIFA has become more than a video game. It's an education medium, because I have friends in the NFL, I have friends in the NBA who tell me when they're on road trips, they're playing FIFA, and they probably recognize names from the video game that they otherwise wouldn't know, if that makes sense. And so it's been a teaching tool as well for a lot of people.
Well, it's also it's been a great generational thing for my kid, because the music and stuff that they play in the games. And my son's like, oh, yeah, I know that song from FIFA, or, you know, it's amazing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Joined by Tim Howard, U.S. men's national team goalkeeper. They take on Peru on Friday at RFK. You can go to ussoccer.com for more info.
Tim, how many times have you played at RFK? And do you feel like you're stepping into a time warp there? Because that place was built in the 60s. It's been a nice home field advantage for DC United, and I know the U.S. team likes playing there, but is it weird playing in such an old place?
Yeah, you know what? The feeling is both. It's old and it's rickety, and I think that's what gives it its character. And number one, and number two, it's the stadium we've most played in, you know, where we always play all over the country, and this seems to feel like home often when we come here. So we enjoy being at RFK. And I played there, I don't know, gosh, I used to play in the MLS when I was with the Metro Stars all those years back. So at least 10 times, 15 times.
Tim, at this point, Tim's an international superstar. Yep. So I'm assuming he can't go anywhere without being recognized. But can you compare the difference? What's it like for you? I mean, American fans certainly know you because of all your great accomplishments. Are you a bigger star, though, overseas than you are here, like in terms of recognizability? What's it like?
Yeah, I mean, I live my day-to-day over in Manchester, UK. So, you know, people, of course, are going to recognize me more. Soccer's on television the way the president here is on television, you know, and so it's a lot of the players are more recognizable there, and so I would have to say over in Manchester.
So what is it like for you? I mean, like, do they have like paparazzi there, like the way we do with our celebrities in LA? Is it that sort of thing?
Yeah, every now and again, depending on where you are, you'll get some cameras in your face, but normally it's just the everyday fan, and everyone seems to be a fan in England. Coming up and saying something positive or negative.
So what do? They buy you drinks everywhere you go? You get free dinners, free haircut. Everything's free, right? You don't pay for anything.
Well, nowadays everyone just wants selfies, unfortunately. So.
Oh, is that right?
He doesn't really need haircuts, too, right?
Well,
no,
still.
No.
Everybody's got to tighten it up.
I'm a bald guy. I'm right there with you, Tim. It's okay.
So hold on. So, Tim, that's right. Everybody wants a selfie these days, and that's a hassle?
It can be, yeah. Well, I think when when you're having dinner or when you're with your family, otherwise, I'm happy to give it, yeah.
Right.
Hey, just curious, we're having a fantasy football guy come on here in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
Do you still maintain a fantasy football team?
I never have.
Ooh, never have.
I've dabbled in a little bit, but no, I don't do it too much.
Do you have a fantasy soccer team?
No,
it's called
people have me on
team.
People have me on their fantasy soccer team, but I don't have one.
Right,
no.
right.
I don't even know how that would work. I guess you have save percentage, And goalie
Something like
stats.
that, yeah.
I'm sure they have geeky stats.
There has to be.
All right, hey, listen, Tim, congratulations, buddy. And by the way, just thank you for all that you've done for U.S. soccer.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, really,
Thank
really
you very
appreciate
much.
what you've done. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I can't remember the game, but remember in the World Cup when he was just so dominant.
Belgium.
And people were coming out with like Secretary of Defense, memes,
So
and
many memes.
pictures and everything. I mean, he just. You
I
want
mean,
to talk
they
about
had
a
a meme
rock
of him
star.
saving the Titanic from sinking. I mean, it was one of a thousand.
Even though the team isn't up there with the top teams in the world, he is in terms of a goalie. And just reading apparently what he's doing at Everton, he is the man of the match on Saturday. I don't follow the.
You don't know where he's from.
I think I know where he's
British
from.
Really? Go ahead. Give it a
Jersey.
stab.
Jersey.
Very good.
Yeah.
North Brunswick.
Look at that one.
North Brunswick.
Thank you.